दिखाई देगा सनी लियोनी का एआई अवतार। भाई सनी लियोनी अब दिखाई देंगी इंडिया की पहली एआई फिल्म में, जिसका नाम है कौर वर्सेस कोर। इस मौके पर सनी अपने पति डैनियल वेबर के साथ नजर आई। सनी और डैनियल के साथ इस फिल्म की पूरी टीम थी। तो आइए मिलते हैं सनी से, जानते हैं कि इंडिया की पहली एआई फिल्म में आखिर खास क्या है।
When we thought of the concept of core, it was in a superhero universe, and we, like she had said, we had developed something, but it's not that Marvel or DC or Universal or Paramount hadn't been working with technology like this, but here we didn't have studios working with the technology that we required, and the budgets were massive, and we couldn't do it. So it's not that we forgot about it, but we said, you know what, the time isn't right now, maybe one day the time will be. And then you come to a point of your life where you want to align yourself with people who have similar visions. And when I met everyone at Paparazzi, it was all very random, and it was through a very random phone call and to the director, and then I met their team. And everyone's vision aligned perfectly, and at this stage of life, you want things to align. It shouldn't be a headache, it shouldn't be a hassle, it shouldn't be an argument. You want things to just align and work out. And we said, you know what, we have a really interesting character that we developed years ago. They said, you know what, we have a really interesting concept. And it just worked, and it just aligned. And that's the way it should be. And this is what brought us here today. And I went to their office, I saw the reel that you just saw, and I saw other content, and I was completely blown away by the content that they made. And I said, this is the fit. This just makes sense. And 7-8 years later, as she said, sometimes you develop something and you want something and you want to do something and achieve something and you think it should be now, and you're frustrated. Everything has its time. Everything has its journey, and this is exactly what is meant to be for this core. It's meant to be now, 8 years later. So as they say, patience is a virtue, 8 years.
First of all, it is absolutely exciting, and when you hear the story, when I heard the story, and with the ideas that I have and the vision that I had for this character, yeah, they might be completely different than what I thought, but I believe that when we really start getting into this character, where she's from, the other character, it is going to be an incredible journey. And I've always said, every single interview, probably with most of you here, you have all asked me what is my dream role. I've always said I wanted to be a superhero. Without fail, you guys can go back and fact check, but I've always said, mujhe superhero banna hai.
There was a lot of pressure on me, really. I've been hearing this for 10 years. I want to be a superhero. I was like, I need to make this happen.
Yeah, and not just for Halloween. I want to create a character that is going to reach the hearts of many, and also be engaging, and also be able to be there every step of the way, which is the most amazing part of hamara relationship together, is that hum saath mein ye pura film saath mein banayenge, every frame, every part of the story, and I think it's very, very exciting, and I'm really, really looking forward, because we cannot give you any more. It's killing me. Well, I think what we've noticed over the last, let's say 3 to 6 years, is we've really seen Marvel films, superhero films do extremely well in India. So then you're looking at a demand of creating something that is on par with what we see when we see a Marvel film. And I do believe with everything in me that we'll be able to create that on such a large scale when you're watching it in the theater, that you will feel like there is no difference between what they have made and what we can make. And I do believe that India is so amazing with technology. There should be no reason why we are not on par with every other country in the world when it comes to our technology. We have some of the smartest, most brilliant people in this country, and you are all going to see what India can create when it comes to AI. And this is a new genre for people to watch. I understand it can be a little uncomfortable, but why should we be left behind? Let's move forward. We move forward as a country, and there'll be so many more films like this coming out. Well, it's AI. So, there are many different layers to the character that I'll definitely have my hand in and be a part of my voice, or how she moves or how she talks. Is that how Sunny's going to talk? Is that how the character's going to talk? There has to be those nuances that, you know, as an actor will be able to put into the character. And I think that's really important. So I do believe that if an actor is a part of any film that has AI, then, you know, you put your foot down and you say, if you're going to use AI, then I want to be a part of it. I need to be a part of this process, and I need to be a part of this film. And however that is, an actor definitely should be a part of their own. I think that you're going to watch history being made. So you're going to see exactly how India is going to be affected by full feature-length films in AI. And we use AI every second of the day. You just don't realize it. Everybody's holding a phone. So there is AI technology in almost everything that we do now. There are schools and universities and children learning AI in schools now. These types of things are changing our entire world. So I do believe, like, our children are learning about AI. And, you know, it's amazing because the job opportunities, or, you know, the different skill set we'll be able to bring to the films is going to be amazing. I definitely believe that there should be regulations on people stealing someone's image or stealing their likeness to create something for their own use. But this is the best part about working with paparazzi and creating this, is we get to tell the story and we get to hold the control in our hands. And I think that's where everything's going to change, is that if you want to use someone's likeness or their photo or who they are, then it should be with consent, and it should be in tandem with whatever that project is. So I do believe there should be regulations. Absolutely, that is the goal. The goal is to pave the way to create a different type of cinema. That doesn't mean that it's going to replace any sort of content that's released. We're not going to replace other films. We're not going to replace other digital content. We're not going to replace anything that's on OTT. This is just another facet within the industry. So I think that it's definitely something that with the right companies creating the content, creating the film or TV show, then we'll be able to create more jobs. So मुझे ऐसा लगता है that मैंने इतना सोच नहीं डाला था as far as females versus men, or whether men are getting ज़्यादा priority or females are not. So मैंने इसमें ज़्यादा सोचा नहीं था. But core was just something, like, in my mind came core universe. So that's where the character actually started. And from there came core versus core. And so I think that there's definitely different elements, like जो इन दोनों characters में है, that are stark differences. And वो differences दिखाने के लिए we have to show different attire, we have to show different philosophies of life, we have to show different things to be able to get there. As far as religion and all these different things, these are things that are still in development. You know, it just really just depends on वो issue क्या है, or वो video क्या है, वो picture क्या है. But I think that it's a very personal thing. So you all know मेरा journey कैसा था यहाँ, and हर रोज कुछ ना कुछ बार आता है that people are not so nice about. So in that way I've developed like rhino skin. I have very tough skin. So ये चीज़ें मुझे इतना affect नहीं करता है. But for some actors and actresses, I do believe ये affect करता है, and they should fight for their rights. And I do believe that there should be regulations. I think that we don't give enough credit to our consumer. हम assume करते that वो ये चीज़ें नहीं like करेंगे, but actually they're already watching it. India is consuming so much content every single day on multiple platforms, and I think that, you know, one of the things that COVID did was create this new world of how we consume content, and it's very different than what it was. So I do think that they're ready. I don't think that we always give enough credit to our consumer. हम ऐसे assume करते कि किसी को अच्छा नहीं लगेगा, but actually everybody loves it. Everybody's watching it already. Sure, I think that knowledge is power. I think that जब आपके पास knowledge है, किसी चीज़ में, then आप अंडरस्टैंड कर सकते वो सिनेमा is an addition. That type of cinema, this type of cinema could be an addition to the industry. I do believe it will create more jobs. I do believe that it is going to catapult into a different direction. So I think if Anurag sir was sitting here, I would definitely want him to understand my point of view, and maybe I could change it. But you know, that is the lovely thing about being a human being, is that हम अपने philosophies and the way that we see life is very different from the next, and that's okay.
भाई सनी लियोनी जब भी आती सनसनी मचाती है। उम्मीद है कि उनकी एआई फिल्म कौर वर्सेस कोर भी सनसनी बचाए। मुंबई से ब्यूरो रिपोर्ट।